Yo, how's it going, guys? Troublelinks here, coming back at you with some more action from the test server here. This time around, I'm gonna focus strictly on these new modules that they're pushing here. I just went ahead and read the post about it on their official webpage, talking about the slow introduction of different modules and effects, and this one is focusing. Well, it says there are 8 of them that'll all be showcased, but I'm only seeing 2 of them even in the test server info, so they're showcasing 2 of them right now. One of them being an area effect, closing off specific radius to action inside and then outside of the zone, allowing you to kind of create a ring within the match in which to brawl out a small battle. Pretty interesting concept, especially with things like the older bots, the Lancelots, the Leos, things like this that are a bit slower and more affected by rocket fire and stuff. So something interesting to check out. And the other one being to see through stealth capabilities. This includes all of your stealth bots as well as this ring influence that I was just talking about. So some pretty interesting stuff coming out. Not really sure how it will affect the gameplay in the live server. That's what we're here to talk about right now. Although at a minute and a half, I'm not really sure if we're gonna actually get to talk about it right now. So anyway, we'll continue to discuss this while we wait for some players to join into this match here. The area of effect one, I think I might like it. It's a cool concept. It allows me to bring, for example, I can bring a Lancelot and hold a beacon, and it forces players to actually engage me with the Lancelot inside of that ring, as opposed to trying to take me down with Hydro Fire or something like this. This allows the use again of that heavy weapon slot as a weapon slot instead of the Ansel shield, which tends to be more prevalent, especially in the higher leagues. The Ancelot being, still a backbone contender in those higher leagues. So having the ability to kind of create a zone of influence around you where you're forcing players to engage you directly, I think I might like that. On the other hand, I'm going to cancel and try and jump back in here. On the other hand, the vision through stealth mode, I'm not as sure. I'm seeing that there are a lot of bots out there now that are becoming obsolete as the new things come through. And one of the things that's still very powerful on the board is that stealth mode. Even if it is only 2 seconds with the Spectre, or 5 seconds with your Inquisitor or your Meteor, having that short span of time of invisibility allows for the lower hit points on those particular bots. The Spectre in particular has a very low hit point rating due to the fact that it does have stealth, and if you take that stealth ability away, then the Spectre no longer really becomes a worthwhile bot to have in your hangar, especially now with the new Invader bot there. So it's just something to consider. Now, I do know that Spectres are still a very powerful thing on the board, especially used in the right hands, but I don't know, you take away that stealth and you just take away the entire appeal of that bot. And then it just becomes a protection from lockdown, which is also becoming a new issue now in the live server as more and more people have access to them. Stealth is oftentimes the only recourse to protect yourself from from being locked down and destroyed. So having only 2 seconds of stealth does not counter the 5-second lockdown effect. So the Spectre's really, it's starting to look like it's the end for the Spectre here, but we'll see. I'm sure there'll still be people like me that hold on to it for more medium and long range battle, but in terms of like close range brawling with a Spectre, I think those days are coming to a close. Still waiting here. There we go. Thank you very much. I guess that's good timing, actually. We got ourselves a domination here on this new snow-covered city map. We're gonna go ahead and let's see. We're going to go ahead and start with a Mender here. Now this Mender has that ability to create a zone, a battle zone sort of thing, which you can see over there on the other side, someone has already engaged it. This lasts for a brief period of time, but those inside of it cannot be targeted. Let's knock down some shields here. There we go. I'm coming, buds. I'm coming. Got me on the reload here. Oh, that's potent. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to my health. I was trying to help my buddy there. That's my own fault. Let's go ahead and hit up some bulwark here. Now, I have the ability to see through stealth, which I could have used there on that Inquisitor, I think that is on the far side. And actually, now is a prime time to use it. Because now I can see through this zone that has been created. That time is over, and I am safe from incoming fire. But I can step outside of the ring, except that I have to then take the time to lock on after exiting the ring, which is unfortunate, but also probably a good thing, because I could definitely see someone using Scourge and having that ring as a chance to reload safely, or walking in and out of it with, for example, these Zeus. But I think I'm pretty like, ooh, got some health. No, he just ran away. That's fair. I'm pretty well toast here. I'm gonna go ahead and use that Spectre and see. Now, because I have the ability to see through these zones that are being created, maybe I can use that to my advantage. And he just used stealth. And that was a bad move on my part. But, oh, ouch. I did manage to at least take out the Spectre there. So, yeah, I can actually see that being beneficial, especially now where I was being concerned about the blaze with the Spectre there as being something that could be potentially dangerous. Now with this new thing, the Spectre is actually probably going to take a big hit. The biggest hit perhaps of all the bots in terms of it's being countered by this new ability. So I got a Falcon here, it's the last one with a module on it. So what I can do is I can create a zone, and now I don't have to worry about getting hit by anyone else if I went Fangs out, which I didn't end up getting Fangs out, which is my own fault here. But I can use my zone, which is depleted, and I can walk in and out of the wall there of my zone and keep myself protected even though I'm Fangs out. which is a nice little feature. So used properly, it could be actually a very dangerous feature to have access to. This guy is doing some damage here with his rocket fire. I'm going to go ahead and let this Exodus recharge a little bit. And we've got 15 seconds left on our ability, which is not going to help us with this guy. He's about to take on the corner here. Yeah, by the time I come out of this, or by the time I have access to the ability, he's going to come out of stealth anyway. And there he is. I'm trying to use the splash from behind him. There we go. So even though I couldn't target him, I was able to splash off the wall behind him and still deal enough damage to take him out. Let's go ahead and let those Exodus recharge really quick. They've got his own influence here. He just walked out of it, but he's now going to walk back in. You see, and now I can't do anything. So it's actually a pretty interesting module. I'd like to see, with something a little slower, but a little more capable, something like a Lancelot to be inside of that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and dive straight in. We want to try and get some damage out of this thing. And we are out of time. So yeah, that's your little modules cover there. Some interesting things. There's some pros, some cons. There will still be working on the details, so I'm not too concerned about it quite yet. I think this may be actually a beneficial thing in terms of us sort of free-to-play players who are still running older generation bots. There might be a way to kind of balance the playing field. All in all, I think I might be kind of excited about this one, actually. Now, they're talking about having a charge system where each of these abilities takes a certain amount of charge in order to activate, and these charges would be earned perhaps in gameplay, perhaps in chests. They're not really sure yet, and also obviously they're going to say, hey, we'll take your cash for these, but I think what they're working on right now is excuse me, the cooldown time, so that it balances those people that are willing to pay mad amounts of cash just to have like a stockpile of these charges available for anytime use. Those players will be affected by the cooldown. It will also affect those of us who are just using our charges when we can, but if we use these things strategically, I think they could actually be hugely beneficial. So let's go ahead and heal up off of that. Alright, so I see. I can't hit those two because they're inside the circle. Wow, that thermite is powerful. It's a deathmatch? Alright, let's see if we can't get some sort of interesting angle going on over here then. So I have the module active that allows me to see through stealth, which also means I can see through these zones here and target, and then once I have it activated. But again, I'm going to try and make sure that I'm only using it when it's strategically advantageous, because right now there's quite a cooldown, which I think is a good thing. I wouldn't want people to be able to use these like constantly. I think it would be too potent. But let's go ahead and turn off that shield because he's not doing enough quite yet. Whoa! Getting hit from behind. Oh, there's that Lancelot. And I've got the wrong ability. I don't need to see through. Yeah, I do. Thank you. Actually, he just nerfed himself though. By staying inside that zone and allowing me to back out of it. And you can see how having that stealth vision activated, I was able to continue to attack the pursuer even though he had his stealth activated, which is really kind of nice. We are inside the zone. We cannot be hit from the outside, which is good because now my shield can recharge. There we go. I don't know what's hitting me. I shouldn't be able to be attacked from there. Oh, I see. He's standing on the outside of the zone in the back. But they can't hit me yet. But I can hit them. That was intense. That was intense. So yeah, but that was actually a very, it was a pretty perfect sort of example of what this is all about here. So I got my ability activated here. I can still hit him even though he's on the other side of that shield. And now my ability is no longer active. I can't hit them. He just stepped out, but he's in the corner. You see how this works now, right? So I can't get hit. I can't get hit. I'm inside the zone. I can't get hit. Now the zone is closed. See? So yeah, it'll take a little bit of getting used to on the server as people start to see this for themselves. Whoa, I think I'm toast here. Yeah, I'm done. Watch your back, guys. Watch your back, guys. There, you see him. Okay. Now, what do we got left here? We've got a Falcon. I'm going to use the Spectre because now that I kind of figured this out here, anything that's inside of those things that think they're safe is now a prime target for me. Really do need to let this thing charge up a bit here. See, he's in stealth. I can still target him. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I say, it's going to have a huge effect on the pursuer because the pursuer is really, really squishy when it doesn't have the stealth activated, and having a way to counter that stealth is going to be very dangerous for the pursuer. Oh, thank you very much. Whoops, okay. something like the Meteor won't be as big a deal, because it's not going to affect the explosive drop of the Meteor. It's only going to affect its stealth. And really it's only going to affect its stealth via the 1 or 2 people that have that ability activated at any given time. So, there are a lot of factors that kind of balance the situation out. If this were Ballista, I would have gotten 2 more shots off on the guy. Don't get too much. And it looks like they've given up. With 6 spots remaining, they have given up the ghost. Yeah, it was a pretty good match, and I think I've covered all the bases as far as these 2 modules go that are being discussed right now. So hopefully I've got all your questions answered, at least for now. If you do have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and yeah. Maybe it won't be long before we start to see these in the live server here. So keep your eyes on that, and also keep your eyes out for the Pantheon bots, and to give you a chance to see who's paying money for these, and who's paying to play, and who's not. At least then you know who your competition is. For now, Tribal Links, and we're signing off.